everyone. I hope everyone is doing good and taking good care of themselves. So, today we have got an interesting guest with us, and she is none other than Ojaswita. She is a lawyer and she's a mother and she's a content creator. And trust me, I was really captivated with the kind of content that she creates on Instagram. So, I'm going to include her link in my description. So, make sure that you guys go and check it out. And to tell you honestly, she also talks a lot about abuse. She is into abuse awareness. And I mean, she's a lawyer. She's got first-hand experience. She has seen what kind of abuse, manifests and exists in our society. So, I mean, who else better than Ojaswita to tell us, the inside story? Because in news, in media, we get to hear that everything is good. It's all lies and, communist agenda, Western influence, women are becoming bad, women are becoming feminist, feminism is spoiling the tradition and the culture. So we are going to, understand whether at all of those notions are correct or wrong. And without any delay, let me welcome Ojaswita with us. Ojaswita, thank you so much for joining us today.
Hello, ma'am, and
Hey.
thank you for this introduction. Now I'm obliged. I'm actually grateful. I have no words to say thanks to you. Such a beautiful introduction you gave me, or such a bold, introduction you gave for me.
Yeah, I mean, Jaswita, to be honest, I mean, today you are with me because, you captivated my attention on Instagram. And I was like, wow, wait a minute, let me get her on my channel. She's the right one to talk about it. Because, see, I'm a therapist. So my domain is different. And you interact more with people. I interact with people in private space, and that too, it's one on one, but you interact with huge lot of people, you deal with a lot of cases, criminal case, I mean, whatsoever. So who else would be better than you to shine some light on these topic. So today's topic, Ojaswita, is from dowry demands to emotional abuse, exposing the reality of family toxicity. And Ojaswita, my first question to you is, in your experience as a lawyer, what is the most shocking case of dowry harassment or in-law abuse you have witnessed in your life? I mean, in your career, I mean, whatever time you have spent, being a lawyer. I mean, could you please tell me, is there something that still haunts you today about that case?
Ma'am, if you talk about the haunting thing, then I want to speak up uh, an incident. When I was a
Sure.
kid, not a kid, I was a student of 10th standard. One of my friend's sister, she was
Mm-hmm.
burnt alive with
Oh,
her
God.
2 years old kid. And that was the case harassment. You know, I mean, you won't believe. And at that stage, until now, it haunts me till now. And this is the case of before my practice thing. At that time, I
Mm-hmm.
haven't thought to be a lawyer or whatever, but this
Mm-hmm.
incident, And one thing I want to add on, everyone blames in laws, right?
Mm-hmm.
In laws didn't have any attachment with the daughter in law and they were so brutal with her. But how can someone be so brutal with his own blood, with a grandkid?
Oh,
They
God.
burnt her alive with the grandkid, and the father, the husband was also involved, man. And it raises the question on parenting too. Can you imagine a
Absolutely.
father, a
Absolutely.
father
A father and
butler,
his parents, they literally burned the daughter-in-law and the son, I mean, the grandchild.
2 years old kid, right? But luckily he survived. The kid survived, and the
Uh-huh.
maternal grandparents took the custody of the kid. But still, the question remains the same. No, what
Mm-hmm.
kind of parenting is this, or what kind of grandparents and parents we have in the society? I mean, is the dowry so important? Is it so important that you can kill your blood relation also?
And I think it's really sad. I'm so sorry you had to go through. I think it is really next to impossible to forget such an incident. It will keep haunting you till the time you are there on this planet, and it will haunt me also. So, Jaswita, in your experience, I mean, does this dowry harassment exist, or is it just lies? I mean, a couple of people making up news, and what is the ground report, if you could tell us?
Ma'am, it exists. Sorry to say,
Okay.
law, the law, male claims no key laws are biased. It is a
Ah, yeah,
strict.
yeah, that's a
It
common one.
favors women, right?
Yes.
But
Mm-hmm.
even after passing such strict laws, we are witness of such incidents. I mean, in
Oh
my
God.
courtroom experience, somehow I experience such incidents, on the
Mm-hmm.
daily basis. You won't believe. On the daily
Oh
basis,
God.
I witness such incidents. And nowadays, people have given this dowry a fancy name, like gift.
Uh-huh.
Gift
Uh-huh.
to your own daughter. We are not demanding anything. This is a gift for your own daughter. Now, the Hindu Succession Act also says that the daughters have the right on the ancestral property, right? So now the
Uh-huh.
in-laws demand for the share at the time of marriage only. They don't want to
Oh
wait,
God. This is
wait for the
nasty.
will,
Uh-huh.
right? Right. And they don't want to wait for the demise of the parents. They want it right now. You give it right now, then only will come with the Bharat thing.
Oh God. So
If
basically it's a
dowry has,
transaction.
yes, yes,
You
yes.
give me
And in
money, I will
South,
give you my son.
right, right, right. And in South India, sorry, I'm, highlighting the South India, but there they
Uh-huh.
call it Sridhan.
Oh
This is for
wow.
the daughter only. This is the Sridhan. And when at the time of divorce, this is the time, when you return the Sridhan to the bride or to the daughter-in-law.
Uh,
Then they don't
uh-huh.
want to return it. Yes,
Oh my
they
God.
behave as if they own it.
Oh God,
And
this
at
is
that time,
disgusting.
the concept of, yes, and at that time, the concept of Sridhan completely changes. They behave as if
Uh-huh.
this is the dowry or they own it and, they are the sole owner of it.
Uh-huh. So this Sridhan, Ojaswita, you said, about this Sridhan, and I also get to hear, this, name quite often, this word quite often. So is dowry Sridhan or alimony also considered Sridhan? Because I have got huge confusion because people hate giving alimony when they,
Yeah,
screw up
correct,
things,
right.
when they mess up things, they hate giving any penny, or sustenance or anything to the child or to the mother. So, I mean, does this Sridhan mean dowry and alimony, or Sridhan means only dowry? It's a fancy word for dowry.
No, Sridhan means dowry only, and alimony is the different thing in Hindus
Mm-hmm.
especially. And
Mm-hmm.
yes, Muslims can also claim alimony under the CRPC and now under this PNS. So
Mm-hmm.
this dowry thing, see, dowry is illegal, totally illegal, and this alimony is legal. If the court
Oh.
yes, this is the basic difference between dowry and alimony. If the court
Mm-hmm.
finds you guilty of taking dowry, the court
Mm-hmm.
directs arrest to the person or whatever punishment is prescribed, right? But
Mm-hmm.
the same court gives the direction to pay the alimony to the economically weaker spouse. And husband and wife
Mm-hmm.
both can claim alimony thing. I don't know why male only, they have problem with this alimony thing. They can also claim.
Oh. So basically, our law is not biased. I mean, anybody can claim alimony, even husband can claim as well.
Yes, yes, yes. And
Wow,
if
so
we
that
talk
means
about this,
equality is there. So why do people cry
yes,
about it? A lot of, guys cry about it.
because there is no equality in our society. We demand
Oh.
gender equality law, but we don't want to work on this, gender equality in our society.
Hmm. So the best thing is shame the people. Best thing is gaslight them and tell
Right?
them
That
that,
is
oh, it's a women thing. Women are misusing law. Okay.
correct.
So moving on to the next question, Ojaswita, I mean, you have, testified that dowry harassment still exists, and you also did, share your
I'm a
experience of
witness.
your
Yes,
friend. Uh-huh. So, Ojaswita, I would also like to know, I mean, what do you think, happens with these parents? I mean, why do you think, so many of these parents, now in-laws, who get their children married, they why do they feel so entitled, to control and, in some ways destroy their son or daughter's marriage under the guise of, all these family values? Because again, it is all rooted to tradition, culture, and, our society. I mean, what do you think is the reason that, these parents and in-laws they cross boundary and they push their daughter-in-law or son-in-law, to such an extent that their marriage is literally destroyed.
Yes, actually, we should start from the parenting only because in-laws are not
Hmm.
aliens. The same parents
Absolutely.
become in-laws in
Mm.
future, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the parents, traditionally we are being told that parents are next to God. And I would
Ah,
like to
that's a
say
common
a
one.
big
Mm-hmm.
yes, and I would like to say a big no to this statement. Parents are also human beings. They tend to make mistakes and they should learn to say sorry. But what happens? On the contrary, parents feel that they have the, complete control over their kids' life.
Mm-hmm.
And this control, leads them to dominate their children, or maybe sometimes unknowingly, or maybe sometimes knowingly harass their children to know, to make them realize their superiority, that I'm the superior and you have to obey me. And the same mentality goes when they treat their daughter-in-law.
Ah,
When
yes.
yes, when they control their own son, their own daughter, how can they
Mm.
spare their daughter-in-law?
True, absolutely. And in that process, the marriage gets destroyed. The girl suffers, the guy suffers, the kid suffers. But I mean,
Yes,
in my experience working as a therapist, I do work with a lot of women who have been divorced because of their in-laws. I mean, narcissistic in-laws, and they
yes,
say that these narcissistic in-laws, they don't have any remorse. They don't feel guilty that they have destroyed their son's life. They have destroyed
that's
their
true.
daughter-in-law's life. They feel
That's
entitled. They
true.
said we were doing for your good. It didn't work
Correct.
out because of
Correct.
your reason, not because of me. And
Correct.
because of that, I see a lot of broken homes and broken individuals. And trust me, I mean, marriage, I mean, according to me, it's a communion of two souls. It's getting together of two individuals. It's very sacred according to me. I personally feel if you're not capable, don't get married. Don't get married
Correct.
just for the sake of society, for pleasing your mother, for pleasing your daddy, getting a hospice. Don't do that. I mean, if you're ready, only then engage in, because it is two lives and then it becomes three and four and you're destroying multiple lives. If you are messed up on the
Correct.
inside, you are passing on
Correct.
that trauma onto the others. And to tell you honestly, I have come across a couple of elderly individuals who came in for therapy. And upon discussing things with them, I realized that they just don't feel guilty for hurting their own children. They don't feel guilty for hurting their daughter-in-law or son-in-law. They say that this is parenting, this is actual parenting, where we don't care about
Discipline.
your emotion. Yeah,
Yes. Yes.
we don't care about your emotion, and whatever we do, it's okay because we are parent. We can get away saying, well, we are parent, we gave you food, shelter, and clothes, and we put you in good school, we did this for you, that for you. So I mean, whatever I have done for you, you have to consider that and forget about the abuse that I'm doing with you. I mean, this is what it means in simple language. I paid for your school, I paid for your medicine, your food, and then I get a pass to abuse you. I mean, it's horrible. But yes, I mean, it's quite a common theme in Indian families. What are your thoughts on that? I mean, do you see it as a normal thing around you?
Yes, it's a normal thing. I mean, it's a tradition, or it's a part of parenting, or it's a part of our society. Guilt, shame, and one thing I would like to add on, this financial
Yes.
control, right?
Oh,
These are
yes.
yes, these are the tools to subjugate the
Mm-hmm.
youngest one, like children.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Earlier, what happens? Parents make the children realize, that I have done this for you. It feels as if they want the repayment of it. It
Mm-hmm.
is not the kid who asks the parents that please bring me into this world. It was the parents' own choice. It
Absolutely.
was the parents' own decision.
Absolutely.
And now,
So what is
what's
the
the
point of
problem?
reminding the child? Yeah.
Correct. Correct. That was your own choice. And law also says that this is the responsibility of parents. The karta, the concept of karta in those family, the
Uh-huh.
karta is
Uh-huh.
liable. The karta is liable to nurture the family. Then how can they make their children feel that they should be grateful to this? I mean, of
Absolutely.
course,
I
we should
think.
respect our
Mm-hmm.
parents, but
Mm-hmm.
it shouldn't
Mm-hmm.
be like, it's sounding more like slave. I'm providing you this.
Absolutely.
Now you have to do this for me. What is this?
Absolutely. And Ojaswita, I have seen, working with a lot of survivors, they say that, they get payback reminders. I used to get payback reminders from my father and mother as well, that we spend this much, we spend this much, you need to outperform and, do things for us as well. And I used to say, why did you do it in the first place? Why did you bring me in the first place? I never
Correct.
wanted to come here and keep a track of all the things and be reminded every morning that I sent you to good school, I put food on the table, I took you to the doctor, I gave you good shoes, good pencil box, good bag, good tuition and all of I never asked for that. I mean, it was your decision. I'm sorry to say, I mean, this might be like really raw and unfiltered for people, but I mean, you decided to make love and you decided to have a child. So why to shift the blame onto the child? Why to make the child feel obligated and guilty? And trust me, I did carry that burden for more than 20 years. Now it's been 10 years that I'm working on myself and I have healed myself. I have been helping others. But for 20 years, I used to feel guilty. I used to feel responsible. Every time I
That's what
used to
they made
prioritize
you
my own
feel.
self. Yes,
Yes.
every time I used to prioritize myself, I used to feel guilty that maybe I am a bad child. I'm being selfish. And trust me, it did haunt me for 20 long years. And I mean, with healing, yes, things do change. But I mean, Ojaswita, what according to you is the root cause? I mean, do people enjoy doing this? Do these parents enjoy doing this? Or is it become a part of our culture and society that this has to be done? This is how it is from time immemorial. This is how my grandpa used to do. So I'm also going to do. Is it a learned behavior, or is it in a way you can say toxicity is being appropriated in our society under the guise of religion, culture, societal norms and values? What are your thoughts?
Ma'am, I think both of the points are, correct. and
Mm-hmm.
and depends upon the family. Sometimes they do this, unknowingly without realizing, just because grandpa did so, their parents did so, so they have to do this also, right? And sometimes, they want a revenge. Sorry to say this, they want a revenge, especially in the case
Wow.
of in-laws. Yes, especially in
Mm-hmm.
the case of
Mm-hmm.
in-laws. Mothers
Mm-hmm.
in-law, she used to brag her miserable condition. Like, my
Oh
mother-in-law
God.
used
Yeah.
to do this with me. My
Yes.
husband used to do this with me. But I tried to keep the family together. I sacrificed
Ah.
my happiness. That's what my daughter-in-law also should do the same thing, because I
Mm-hmm.
did. So if you haven't any complaint about that, then why are you now, why are you now creeping in front of your daughter-in-law? Just because you
Absolutely.
can't take revenge from your own mother-in-law, you couldn't speak up. Now you are targeting your daughter-in-law. So both
You're
the
venting
points are
everything on
valid,
your daughter-in-law. Mm.
right? To
Absolutely.
soothe your wants, to heal your ego, to satisfy your ego, that I also did the same thing. See, now my daughter-in-law is suffering and I'm the happiest. See this
Mm-hmm.
sadistic pleasure.
Oh God, yes. I mean, yes, I mean, they derive pleasure out of hurting you, after out of minimizing you and invalidating you. They do derive pleasure.
Their circumstances made them, like this. And someone needs to break this chain. Some mother-in-law or some parents need to break this traumatic chain.
I would like to add something over here, Jaswita. You said that their circumstances made them this way. I mean, I grew up in a very toxic household. I mean, this is my opinion. I grew up in a toxic household. My father was abusive, my mother was abusive. But I did not choose to become an abusive person. I never wanted to do the same thing with anyone else. I mean, I wanted to handle every other relationship in my life with love, with, greatness, with gratitude, with compassion, and, pure intent. I never wanted to treat people the way how my mother treated me. I mean, I didn't carry it on. So I mean, why do you say that, circumstances, or, external factors or influence could be a reason that they become like this? I mean, why do you say that?
Ma'am, because it takes lots of courage to break the cycle. And hats off to you. You chose to be a path breaker. You know,
Mm-hmm.
not everyone has the guts to do it. And the people who are abusive now are insecure people. Deep down, they are insecure. And they,
Yes.
they themselves are scared. Out of their
Mm-hmm.
insecurity, they do so. And they're neophobic also. They don't want to
Mm-hmm.
try something new. They don't want to try something positive. They have to follow the path. They have to follow the tradition. And at the end, they will say, "Aisa hi hota hai." There is no harm in
Wow.
it.
Okay. I mean, yeah, I think it's a way to legitimize. It happened 20 years back, so it's okay if it happens again after 20 years. If it's with you, it's absolutely okay because it happened with me. I mean, I'll give you an example, Ojaswita. One of my friend, she is married in North India, and her in-law, mother-in-law, one day was telling her that my mother-in-law used to slap me and she used to hit me and she used to do all sorts of things. You should be thankful that I don't slap you. And my friend
Mm.
lost it. And my friend said, bitch, if you are going to raise even a finger, I'm going to break your hand and I'm going to leave your son. I mean, what is there to brag about? I don't understand. If your
Well,
mother-in-law slapped you, what is it? Do you also want to do it? Do you want to replicate it? Do you want to slap your daughter-in-law? What are you trying to say? I don't understand.
she's weighing the tyranny. She's trying to, weighing the tyranny on the
Or maybe she's
balance.
testing
That
the water. Can I also slap her?
maybe, but now she knows the laws are strict. If my bahu go to the courtroom or go to the police station, I would have to, be
Yes,
arrested. Also,
absolutely.
yeah,
Uh,
those wills on her subconscious zone are making her to speak like that. Maybe. I mean,
she
you can
desires,
better
she
explain
craves.
this.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
it's a part
absolutely.
of
I think,
psychology, so
yeah,
you can better.
yeah, I personally feel that, yeah, I mean, that old woman must be wanting to exercise the same thing on her. So she was testing water because this girl is educated. She's very outgoing. I hope she doesn't slap me in return. So she's testing water by narrating these stories.
And ma'am, this boldness is required because law
Uh-huh.
alone is not enough. You have to be bold enough to go to the police station also. And
And
yes, you
confront these
should
people.
learn some self defense. Sorry to say, ladies, you have to learn some self defense because this is not a single case of a bride being burnt alive. You see several cases like this. You have to be brave, you have to be self defensive, and yes, you have to learn to speak up.
Okay, Ojaswita, have you noticed a pattern where, toxic in-laws, use guilt, shame, or financial control to manipulate their adult children? And if you can you give an example that still makes your blood boil?
Uh, yes, I mean, guilt, shame are very normal things nowadays, ma'am. Sorry to say this. Very normal. Indian parents
Uh-huh.
are, Indian parents have done the mastery over the emotional manipulation.
Wow.
And these are their go-to tools. Guilt, shame,
Mm-hmm.
financial control. These are their go-to tools. So,
Mm-hmm.
I think I should highlight this financial control because earlier we have
Mm-hmm.
already discussed
Please.
about this guilt and
Mm-hmm.
shame. Yes, in
Mm-hmm.
a joint family, I have seen the
Mm-hmm.
pattern. Husband knows my wife is right, but he also
Mm-hmm.
knows that the financial control is with my parents. So even after knowing this, he can't support his wife. So in a closed bedroom, he will, console his wife. It's okay. Let it go. Now financial control is with them. They will kick ourselves out from this house. They will kick us out
Oh
from this house,
God.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So, just be quiet. And if it's a nuclear family,
Mm-hmm.
mothers-in-law interferes so much. She will teach her son over the call that don't give her any extra money.
Oh, wow.
Why?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I while counseling, I too do some counseling of my clients. So one of
Oh, amazing.
the lady is she told me that, ma'am, whenever I want to go to the Mica, I want to buy some sweets or gifts for my parents and siblings, and
Mm-hmm.
I ask for the
Mm-hmm.
money from my husband. He
Mm-hmm.
says, why? What is the need of it? And even if he gives the money, he asks the, whole calculation, whole accountancy, and I'm really accountable for the money which he gives to me. What is this?
Oh,
This is
God.
financial control. A
Uh-huh.
woman who's sacrificing her life, cooking for you, cleaning for you, I mean, taking care of the children, then only you go to the work without any tension, right? But you are not paying her anything. Even a maid also claims her salary, but a housewife, she can't claim, she can't take her pocket money even. So, this is the financial control, and parents
So,
use this control.
mm-hmm. So, Ojaswita, you said that, I mean, you talked about two situations. One is, where, it's a joint family, and then you talked about the nuclear family. So, is it a common phenomena that you have observed? I mean, is it quite a common thing that you see in majority of the
Yes,
cases that you dealt with
yes,
or you have
in
heard about?
majority of yes, in majority of the case, this is the malpractice of Indian families now to
Oh,
control a
God.
woman financially. That's why I keep insisting that ladies, please focus on your career and prioritize your career over anything else.
I personally feel earning is very essential. If you have money, you will have autonomy. But again, there is, a different side to this. I mean, entire, earning money and becoming independent. I have seen a lot of educated women, being submissive. I have seen a lot of educated women with money working in very good companies, working well, doing good, and they are, I'm sorry to say, but they behave, they allow being used as a doormat. What could be the reason in those cases, if you could tell us, Jasmita?
Now, I think low self esteem and sometimes this status quo. They want to be called married only, right? Because our society gives the character certificate to the women who are divorcee or who are separated from their husbands. So, for the sake of this status quo thing, uh, they allow their husbands or in-laws to torture them or to oppress them, and sometimes it's like there's low self-esteem, like my care will not support me, society will judge me, where would I go? It's okay, let it go. They have seen their mothers also in a same role, and mothers also teach
Oh,
the daughter. Yes, mothers also teach the daughter that males are like this, beta. You have to adjust. So the working women are also adjusting.
but Ojasvita, isn't it a high price to pay? I mean, like to be tormented like this, treated like shit, and still stay in marriage. I mean, I'm sorry, I cannot tolerate that. Even though if I'm not making big money, I will never tolerate it. But I mean, isn't it a high price to pay to remain married? I mean, the status quo that you mentioned, I mean, just for the sake of being seen as a happy married woman to a good family and blah, blah. I mean, they are paying, with their self worth, self esteem, mental health, mental peace. They are paying, for that relationship by sacrifice these things. So, don't you think it's a high price to pay?
Yes, it's a high price to pay for the women. They are being
Hmm.
taught. That's what I say. No, only passing the strict laws or only being, financially independent are not sufficient. You
Hmm.
have to, you have to be very confident, very bold, and you have to understand that marriage should not be the ultimate aim of your life.
Wow,
Happiness,
that's a
self
good one.
respect.
Hmm.
Yes,
Hmm.
happiness, self respect, these should be your ultimate aim. I mean, why do you want to be married with an abusive person? Why? Just because you
Yeah.
want to be called married? Is this the ultimate aim of your life? And what kind of environment you are providing to your children? An abusive environment, and your children will
Absolutely.
also learn the same thing, and they will also normalize the same abuse. Okay, ऐसा ही होता आया है. Someone needs to break
True.
this chain.
Mhm. Absolutely, absolutely. And I think, people like you, people like us are, example of being, cycle breakers and, black sheeps, someone, who's out of the blue coming and talking about these things. Because I
Correct.
personally feel a lot of people are very obsessed about this label, good girl, good
Good, good.
daughter-in-law, good
Yes,
son, good
yes.
son-in-law. I don't know. I mean, what is this obsession to be good? I mean, I'm happy being a villain in your story. I don't mind being a villain in anybody's story. I'm happy now. My healed version tells me that it's okay, I can be a villain. But earlier, when I was, under all that oppression, all that manipulation, my goal was to be the good girl. My goal was to be the good girl and the good person in everyone's story. Someone who's helping, someone who's pleasing, someone who's optimizing and tolerating and leaving it on karma and God, and just suffering in silence and keeping the mouth shut. But healing taught me that I have absolute liberty to be myself. I have liberty to say no and to exit myself from such abusive relationship. What are your thoughts on that, Jasmita?
I think you're absolutely right, ma'am. And I think we should teach the new generation to stop being people pleaser. The correct word you used, people pleaser. Stop being
Mm-hmm.
people pleaser. And parents, tame their children like good boy, good girl. As we say to our pet, no, good boy, good dog, good doggy, good boy.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes parents tame their children, and children also behave, to be called a good boy, good girl. So we need to teach our children that stop being people pleaser, and this will come from when we will stop being people pleaser. As parents, we
Absolutely.
also have to change. Then only we can change the next generation.
So true. So, Ojaswita, I mean, now coming back to the dowry thing, because I'm very interested in that subject, because, a lot of people, a lot of influencers, keep gaslighting, the viewers that there is no such thing as dowry. We have already, come to a level, it's 2025, no dowry crime exists. All the women's, because of feminism, are making those fake cases. There is no death because of dowry. It is all stridhan, everything is fine. India has reached the epitome of perfection, and women's are safe in this country. Women's are devis, goddesses. So, I mean, no such bad things happen. Now, women's have become rakshasis. Women's have become, the new oppressors. They are the one
Yes,
misusing
yes,
the law,
right.
as if law is a joke. Anyone can run around with it and misuse it and do whatever they want. So, Jasmita, I want to know, in cases of dowry harassment, how often do you see the husband's family gaslighting the wife? And what are, some of the chilling tactics they use? What have you observed? How do they manipulate their daughter-in-law, when there is a dowry harassment case, or if the case issue goes into the court? How do, these parent-in-laws and, these in-laws react?
Actually, in our society, in-laws, as the parents make their children feel grateful, right? So, in the
Mm-hmm.
same manner,
Indebted.
they make,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, in the same manner, they make their daughters-in-law feel like we are providing you shelter, we are providing you food, you are here, and we are taking care of you. So if you are asking a little, a little amount, or maybe sometimes furniture, or maybe sometimes jewelry, for asking for these things from your parents, it's normal. You are giving a little contribution because you are also part of this family now. So you should think about us also, and they justify this in the courtroom also.
Wow.
What's wrong in it? They paid it for their daughter only. The daughter only
Wow.
asked for it. The daughter only wanted it. Or their son in law only wanted it. At that time, the son becomes their son in law. And they
Oh,
did
wow.
it for their own daughter and son in law. And the daughter-in-law also knows that if she denies, then how can they will treat her? The daughter-in-law is also scared. Here I would blame the parents also, because
Mm-hmm.
parents also teach daughters that it's okay, we'll pay for this. We just want your happiness, and the definition of happiness is again in being married, in using title of the other person. So you stay in the marriage, will pay whatever amount it takes. So it's not only the in-laws, it's the parents also, it's the society also, it's our system also.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? And in all this procedure, a poor girl becomes a victim, a prey.
Mm-hmm. So, Ojaswita, from your legal and personal exposure, I mean, you have seen a lot. I mean, you are a mother, you are an advocate, you have seen a lot. From your legal exposure and from your personal exposure, do you think that these toxic families, narcissistic families, are blindly traditional? I mean, because that is how they are seen. I mean, they present themselves that we are very traditional, we are have traditional values, we have a lot of religious and sacred ancient values to uphold and to live by. So I mean, do you think that these families, I mean these toxic families, are they aware at all of the emotional damage that they are causing, to their children, to their children's spouse, to their grandchildren? Do you think are they at all aware of these things?
Ma'am, I think they are all aware of it. But just because they have normalized these practices so much, they have made these malpractices as very normal, as a part of the culture, that they justify it. Okay, it's normal, it's okay. I mean, every family does so. How can you say me wrong? I'm just following the practice. They are fully aware of the damages because they themselves are sufferers. Just because they couldn't speak up, and now they want to continue the same tradition with the new generation also.
So are you saying that they suffered, now they want to enjoy seeing others suffer? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, they get sadistic pleasure again.
Oh God. And to tell you honestly, in some of the cases, I mean, that I have come across, when the daughter-in-law or the son-in-law gives them back, when they reply, stand up for themselves, and when they say no and they put up a fight, then these so-called traditional in-laws, they really get hurt. Then they are
Yeah,
like, you don't consider us as your own, you don't respect us the way you respect your parents, you don't feel for us, you're not connected with us like a family. I mean, what is interconnectedness? I mean, like, I mean, is it to tolerate abuse? I mean, is it to say, thank you so much, mummy, for slapping me? Thank you so much for financially abusing me. Thank you so much for, creating a fight between me and my husband. Thank you so much. My mother in law, you're a
yes,
goddess. Thank you so much. You ruined my
yes, I
marriage. I'm
deserve
indebted
this.
to you.
I fully deserve this, and you gave me what I wanted, what I needed. That's what
What I deserved.
in-laws.
Mm,
Ah, that's what in-laws want to listen. I
mm,
think today only I got a very
mm-hmm.
insensitive comment from senior citizen. Like she is a lady only. I think she must
Oh,
be
God.
a scary mother-in-law. She was like,
Narcissist. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
yes, I'm putting her comment like, अगर ज़रूरत से ज़्यादा मुँह चलाओगे, तो हस्बैंड भी क्या करेगा? और तुम्हारा
Wow.
मुँह चलाने से ही घर टूटते हैं.
Wow.
So
And
she
this is
is
a woman.
demanding. Yes,
This
so she is
woman. Wow.
demanding. She is demanding that
What a
how a girl
misogynistic
should be,
woman. Mm-hmm.
how a daughter-in-law should behave. She should be quiet. She should obey the things. She should behave like a Barbie doll, a showpiece without any voice. That's
Okay,
how an ideal
I
daughter-in-law should
mhm.
be.
I would like to translate this for my viewers. Ojaswita was giving an example, of a comment, and that comment said, I mean, one of these elderly ladies, quite possibly a narcissistic woman, she's saying that, marriages get spoiled. I mean, there are problems in marriages because you open your mouth too much, you talk too much, you voice out your opinion a little too much. If you keep your mouth shut, everything is fine. In a way, that woman, I mean, the person who commented on her post was trying to say that suffer in silence, keep your mouth shut, and just be the good girl, and don't open your mouth. If you're going to use your tongue like scissor, then of course it's going to spoil and jeopardize relationship. Yeah, I mean, coming back to Ojaswita, yeah, please, I mean, tell us, I mean, then what did you reply to her? Did you at all reply to her?
You know, at that moment, I got so furious. But somehow, I need to control my anger as an influencer because others viewers are also watching me. So
Mm-hmm,
I just said, best wishes for you, ma'am. And I
mm-hmm.
think you must be a scary mother-in-law. I said it.
Absolutely.
Now
She
it's
must
up
be a
to her
horrible
how
mother
does she
too.
take it. Now it's up to her how does she take it. But it's just I just said it. And yes, one thing I add that whenever the new generation wants to speak up, they want to take a stand for themselves. Old school people think that this new generation is battameez, mannerless,
Ah,
mannerless.
absolutely. Mm-hmm.
I just said this much, and it was like, okay, my mental peace is more precious. I'm not going to, fight with you.
Oh, Jaswita, I mean, I can give you a small little help. If you ever get such comments, why don't you just DM them my profile and tell them to come and, I mean, witness my profile and see what I talk about? I think they're gonna get a heart attack.
Sure, sure. Next time, sure, ma'am.
Yeah, that is the best way, because I mean, I really don't want you to, jeopardize your mental peace and, sacrifice your peace and harmony. So the best thing is refer them to me. I know how to handle these women, trust me. I've got first hand experience. I've handled a lot, and I think I'm getting more seasoned. I'm getting more perfect, handling these kind of
Maybe
people.
I'm the new one
So
in this field. Gradually, I will learn.
absolutely. I mean, we all are different. I mean, we all have different appetite. We all have different exposure. Absolutely. Do what is comfortable for you. I mean, don't get into the rat race. Earlier, when I came out on social media, I started talking about it. I was, a little people pleasing as well. I used to think 10,000 times before, making a content or before speaking. I used to rehearse and practice. And then one day I realized, hell no. I mean, I should just speak my heart. I mean, it's okay if you can disagree. It's absolutely fine. I have got freedom of speech and I will express my opinion. And you can disagree. That's absolutely fine. But that doesn't mean that you disagree. So I should keep my mouth shut and just, vanish and, just not exist. So, yeah, I mean, that's how things are, and we get to learn a lot, from different people, different experience. So moving on to the next question, Ojaswita, have you seen in-laws, completely ruin their son or daughter-in-law's life? Not just marriage, but their mental health, self-esteem, and future relationship. Uh, and before you answer, let me, add more clarity to what I'm asking. I want you to know: have you seen, such in-laws or such parents destroy their children's life also at various levels, not just their marriage, but their
Okay.
mental health, finances, their self-esteem, self-worth? If you could, shine some light on that.
In Indian family, parents have lots of control over children's life. Like they
Mm-hmm,
decide their education, their choice of college, the stream which they opt for, and lastly the marriage. Not lastly the marriage. Sometimes they do the family planning also on the behalf of their son and
oh
daughter-in-law.
God, yeah.
Yes. So in every step they have dominant role. So you can imagine the amount of damage also which they cause,
Mm-hmm,
right? It starts
mm-hmm,
with the school, forget about school. We all are kids then. Okay? Let's start with the plus two thing. Okay, you have to
mm-hmm.
go to this stream only because सोसाइटी में ऐसा ही होता है. If
For
you are a boy, you have
validation.
to do. If you're a boy, you have to do engineering. If you're a girl, you have to do medical.
Oh
That's
God.
what
Mm-hmm.
we face, 90s kids, right? And after
Mm-hmm.
that, love marriage is not allowed. What do you know about marriage? What do you know about the person? We know what is good for you. And the irony is that the daughter-in-law which they select for their son, uh, after some time they start hating the same girl which they chose for their son.
And why is
Okay,
that?
so this is because of the obsession with the son. Whether it's love marriage daughter-in-law or the arranged marriage daughter-in-law, mother-in-law have always the problem with the daughter-in-law. I don't know why are they so much obsessed with the personal life of their sons. I mean, they
Mm-hmm.
don't want to share the son with the daughter-in-law. I think mothers should, cut this obsession thing at the time of marriage. The way at the time of delivery they cut the umbilical cord, no. In the same manner, they should cut this obsession thing. So now they have entered into the marriage thing. So they are destroying the marital affair also. And later
Mm-hmm.
on, they do this family planning thing on the behalf of their son and
Oh
daughter-in-law.
God.
And
Mm-hmm.
then when the grandchild come, if it's a boy, okay, we want a girl also. If it's a girl, okay, we want a boy also. The family will be complete. We don't know what is the definition of being complete family.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then, okay, now the daughter in law should not work, should not go outside. She should be taking care of the children only. See this control over the family, over the new girl, over the kids. So in Indian society, the parents have entire control and the parents have lots of authority over their kids' life and they happily destroy their own children's life, their daughters-in-law life, sometimes sons-in-law's life also.
Mm-hmm. I
It's out of
personally feel,
habit.
or just with I personally feel a lot of Indian families, I mean, these Desi brown families, it's extremely narcissistic, where parents are just not concerned about the kids' feeling. All what they're concerned about is their name in the society, name, honor, how they
And
appear in front of the others. They're just not concerned about the emotion of the daughter or the son, whether at all they are hurting, they like it, they don't like it, they want it. They just don't care. They just impose and tell them that now it's payback time. I did things for you. Now you have to do things for me. They will make the child feel obligated. And the poor child has no other option apart from complying, apart from saying, yes, okay, mom, I'll try. Okay, dad, I will try. I mean, I was there as well. I did a lot of things that I never wanted to do solely to please my parent, and in that process I did hurt myself, I did cry, I did, I mean, I experienced a lot of pain and trauma, just because they forced me into doing things. And later on, when I failed in those things, I mean, when I did not succeed in those things, I did it because they wanted me to. And when I did not do well in those things, then I was only to be blamed. You don't care about our image. You are a worthless piece of shit. You did waste our money. You have got no brain. You are horrible. Look at your other cousins, other siblings. They are doing so well. You are just a burden. I mean, first you're blackmailing me and putting me into something which I don't like, I'm not good at. And then when I'm actually not performing well in that because you have forced me into doing it, then you are blaming me. I think you should take the blame. You should, own up to your mistakes. You forced me. So you are to be blamed. And, it took a great amount of time and energy for me to realize this and accept this, that the problem is not with me. The problem was with them.
correct. That's what the narcissism is all about. It's never about the children. It's always about their ego, their thing, their status. And even if you shrink yourself to obey them, to please
Oh,
them,
God.
it will
Mm-hmm,
never ever
mm-hmm.
be enough.
Absolutely. You'll still be not good enough. They'll keep shifting the goalpost. Today they will say,
Correct.
become like her son. When you become like her son, then they'll say, no, no, this is not too much. Come on, look at their son, the other person's son. They have done so much. Look at their daughter-in-law. She's so good. She worships the mother and father. And look at your wife. She's shameless. She doesn't respect us. Look at your children. They are not like, their children. They are so disciplined. Your children are horrible. You don't know how to parent your child. You're
Correct.
horrible as
Correct.
parent. Look at our
Correct.
parenting. See where you are. I mean, what are you bragging about? You destroyed us and you're bragging and you're saying that you did a good parenting. I'm a broken adult. What is there to brag about?
Correct. Both the things they only say. And this constant comparison thing, they don't even realize that with drawing this constant comparison, they are breaking the confidence of their own children.
Absolutely, absolutely. They are literally shattering their kids' confidence. Their kid is going to suffer from self esteem, self worth issue, and their kid will be broken beyond repair if they are comparing. The kid is never comparing you with others' parents that look at their daddy, look at their mother. The kids don't do that. So, why are you comparing your own child with the others? I think it's really horrible. It's pathetic, but I mean, it's a common phenomena that I get to see. Now, Jaswita, moving on to my next question, um, what do you think? What role does society, play? I mean, including the legal system, in silently enabling dowry harassment and toxic in-law behavior. Do you think society and law, in a way, silently, indirectly enables these folks? What are your thoughts?
Yes, firstly, we talk about this peer pressure, which comes from the society only,
Mhm,
right? You understand the power of peer pressure in our Indian society. Like,
mhm,
divorce is taboo in India, and
mhm.
divorcee is the synonym of characterless woman.
Oh
So, even
God.
if you
Mhm,
are being harassed, even if
mhm,
you know that in-laws are doing wrong, they are abusing you, or they are demanding dowry, or whatever, you can't
mhm,
speak up because of
mhm.
this peer pressure. You can't go to the Micah back because the Micah won't accept you. You understand Micah, the bride's parent side,
Okay, yeah,
bride's
perfect.
home,
Thank you. I mean,
right?
it's going to help the audience. Yeah, thank you.
Yes. So the bride's parents will not accept her. They will again say, okay, we'll pay whatever they want, we'll pay for your happiness, for your status quo, and they don't allow their daughter to break the marriage. And this is not the scene of a housewife or the non-working woman. This is the scene with working women also. They also
Mhm.
suffer. In our society, women are being seen as poor women, like ablanari, poor women. So
Helpless. Mhm,
yes, without husbands or without a male figure, they are nothing. They are being made feel so. So now with this, now for the sake of this title, for the sake of this marital status, they have to tolerate the things. They can't speak up. And if we
mhm,
talk of the law, so yes, provisions are strong, laws are strict, it favors the woman. Sometimes maybe still, still women are suffering because of this slow judiciary system. I want to highlight this slow judiciary system. Even we have the options of fast trial in cases, but not for all the cases. In few cases, the fast trial is available. The slow judiciary system, it impacts upon a woman's mental status also. Now she is fighting for
mm.
her,
Delayed
and
justice.
how, yes, and now how long this fight will take time, she doesn't know. Till then, she has to face her in-laws, her husband, and there's no other option. Every day she has to go to the court. Once in a month, whatever the date comes, she has to go in the court, and she has to say the same thing, the same suffering, the same scenario in front of her. So this slow judiciary system, I mean, I think our government or the parliament should do something for this judiciary thing. Passing the law is not enough. That's how society and law play the role in the suffering of a woman.
Absolutely. And also, I would like to add over here, you talked about this delayed justice, I mean, slow judiciary system. Um, I personally feel it's very exhausting. when you are waiting for years and years and month, for justice, for to be seen and heard, and to win that case, and to see your abusers behind the bar. I mean, it's really exhausting for a woman, and especially when you are dependent or you are not that well off, it becomes really exhausting. I mean, week after week, the dates are being shifted. I mean, the court hearing dates are being shifted. Plus, if the in-laws are rich, they can hire a good lawyer and they can bribe. I mean, I think that exists in our society and in the judiciary system. I have seen there is a lot of malpractice and bribery thing happening. I mean, it's a sad thing, but I mean, I have seen it happening. So, when they have money, when they have power, when they have name, again, the girl suffers even more. She doesn't get the justice, it's delayed, it's slow, and then she has to keep going through that trauma again and again and again on a daily basis. She has to narrate, then she has to face the in-laws and the other relatives, society, and then again next morning she has to prepare for the battle. So I think, yes, in a way, our society and legal system is in some ways directly and indirectly enabling these toxic in-laws. I mean, you're right. I mean, the slow processing, this delayed
Right.
justice, slow processing. I think something needs to be done, about these things. It needs to be fast tracked and not, done with your own, leisure and with your own, pace. I have seen, divorce cases, hanging in the court for 10 years and 15 years
Yes,
also.
yes, and people think that it's very easy to get alimony. I have many female clients who clearly say that, ma'am, we just want to get rid of this fellow. We don't want any alimony, any maintenance. We just want to get rid of this
Absolutely.
fellow because of this
Absolutely.
long delayed justice. Yes.
So, Ojaswita, can you share a moment when you realize that no amount of obedience or adjustment can save someone trapped in a narcissistic or abusive family dynamic?
Yes, because we cannot please the narcissist parents. As we already discussed, it's not about the children. It's about them, their ego, their status. Even if you obey them blindly, it won't be enough. The demand will shift from this to this. Now we want this. Now we want this, and they themselves don't know what do they want. Honestly telling you, they are confused people, they are self obsessed people, so no
Mm-hmm.
amount of hard work or effort can make them happy.
Mm, absolutely. So, I mean, adjusting and becoming obedient is not going to solve the problem, according to
Yes,
you.
because it's not about you, it's about them only.
You're absolutely right. So, what do you think is the solution, Ojaswita? If you are saying that you should not adjust, no amount of adjustment or obedience is going to help. So, what is going to help? Kick them out? Go no contact? Divorce? What is going to help? Tell us.
I think when
Spill
you
the
are a
truth,
kid,
Ojaswita.
yes, now. I think when you are a kid, it's very tough to run away from your own parents. So
Mm-hmm.
it's your bad luck that you have to bear them. But when you find yourself as strong or capable enough to live on your own, just get separated. It's not about the breaking the family, it's about taking care of your mental peace. Just get separated. And if it's the case of daughter in law, please get separated. Convince your husband. If he's not convinced, just leave him. Also, prioritize yourself, your inner peace.
Mm-hmm.
There is
Absolutely.
no solution. You cannot change them. They're so rigid people, you cannot change them because they're not realizing. When they will realize, they will take the steps to amend them, but they don't realize it. So it's better you take care of yourself, because if you want to move on, if you want to progress in your life, you have to be separated.
Absolutely. Even I do suggest that, because there is no other way. You might hope that they are going to change, your love is going to change them. If you do more, it's going to change them. No, they are going to treat you like shit. They are going to treat you like an emotional toilet, a doormat, and it's going to become nasty with time. As how they age, they are going to treat you more horribly. So
Correct,
nothing is
correct.
going to improve. The only thing that can protect you is using boundary. And in some cases boundaries also don't work, to tell you honestly. The only solution is living
Separation.
separately or going no contact. I know some people
Correct,
might say no, that's a bad thing, it's a Western concept and all that thing. But I mean, you have the right to live your life. That's not a Western concept, that's humanitarian. I mean, being a human, you have all the right to live your life. Aren't you allowed to
correct,
even
correct.
live your life the way how you want? So how
Yes,
how how can we shift the blame on the Western world and the Western culture? I
correct.
think in our ancient
Now,
tradition also, there
yes,
were these
yes,
systems where you were kid, bal ashram and other ashramas were there. Where when you go old, then you get isolated and start your own life and lead a spiritual life. When you're married, you are in the grihastha. So in ancient India also, those things were there. But it's so convenient, for these toxic people to tell you only, the things that benefits them and not the right
correct.
thing.
Follow the convenient traditions only. What is
Ah,
convenient
yes,
for them?
absolutely,
What suits them?
absolutely.
What suits their routine? What suits their lifestyle? They don't want to leave their comfort zone. And
Mm,
the blame is on the next generation only.
yes, on the newer generation, social media, Facebook, internet. I have
For the
seen people
children who
literally,
speak,
yeah.
for the children who
Uh-huh.
speak up, who take stand for themselves,
Hmm.
the those are only responsible for this, breaking family thing or whatever.
Absolutely. We become the black sheep. We are scapegoated.
Correct.
So
Let
true.
them be
So,
happy in their own world, and we have to do
absolutely.
lots of things. So it's better we focus on ourselves only.
Absolutely. So, Ojaswita, why do you think, these survivors of toxic in-laws, often struggle, so much with guilt and shame, even after, escaping the abuse? I have seen a lot of survivors, who have, come out of that relationship and they still battle, guilt and shame, even after leaving the relationship, escaping the abuse. Why do you think so?
Because, ma'am, the toxic parents or the toxic in-laws treat you as very inferior creature, not even like a human being, as a very inferior creature. So this treatment basically shatters your confidence, and you
Mm,
questions your self confidence, your self worth, and this healing process takes so much time. I mean, you take
mm-hmm,
so much time to heal.
mm-hmm.
You became so fragile that now you are scared. Now you are scared to move on. And if you have moved on, now you are scared to start a life of your own. Because those bad memories, those ill treatments still haunt you. And yes, it will take time.
Mhm. And also, one more thing I would like to add over here, Jaswita, all this guilt and shame, that I see, these survivors, suffering from and battling, it's also because of societal pressure. If you leave your family, if you leave your toxic parent, you are a selfish child. If you leave your
Yes,
old toxic in-laws, you are a bad housewife. You are a bad daughter-in-law. You were bad. There is something
correct,
wrong with you. Those poor old people were so good, you should have let them be, and they are just there for a couple more of years. Then you could have had a gala time once they would have gone. So I mean, why? I mean, only women, I mean, that's what I see. Daughter-in-laws are only labeled that she was characterless, she was woke, she was liberal, she was feisty, she was bad, she was manipulative, she was this, she was that. And because of this judgment, people tend to suffer even more, even though they come out of the toxic relationship, because everyone is ready to judge them. Oh, your marriage didn't
correct.
work out. Oh, she's characterless. Oh, she was the bad
Yes,
one.
Yes, she couldn't handle her husband, even the worst.
Yes. Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. They will gaslight you into that. Yes.
Yes, yes. So
And I
you
have
can
seen,
understand
a
the
lot of
mental.
people. And I have also seen, a lot of people, saying, you could have just adjusted. They are elders.
Yes, it's very convenient to say this that you could have
Yeah.
adjusted.
Yeah. But
It's
to
very
what
easy
extent?
thing. No, but the situation, the sufferer only knows her situation. And why to adjust when you are capable
Absolutely.
enough to move on? I mean,
Mm.
it's mandatory to get suffered. I mean, the sacrifice is the mandatory thing. For what? What are
Yeah.
we
In order to
trying
be
to
a good
tell?
mother, you have to suffer. In order to be a good wife, good daughter-in-law, you will have to tolerate all that BS. And then you will
See,
be
we
given that
don't want
label,
to be the
the
good mother.
crown.
We don't want to be good wife. Don't glorify the women role. We just want to be treated as normal human beings. That's all.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So yes, Ojaswita, moving on to the last question. I mean, all this while it was an amazing discussion. So let's wrap up today's discussion with this last question. And the question is, if you could say one thing without censorship to toxic in-laws who manipulate and ruin their children's lives for control and pride, what would you like to tell them right now? Look them into the eyes and speak your heart out, Ojaswita.
Okay. Just because you are elders, you are parents, you don't have any right to ruin your children's life or your daughters in law life. You are not at all God, you are human beings. So please learn to say sorry, learn to take the responsibility of your mistakes, and please behave like a human being. That's all.
Wow. I mean, that was a good message. And yes, I mean, to that message, I would also like to add that, I mean, the kind of respect you expect from your children, you should start giving that respect to your children because they are human
Correct.
beings as well. So, I mean, treat your children the way how you want yourself to be treated. Yeah, I mean, we
Yes,
get to hear, a lot of these, phrases that treat others how you want yourself to be treated.
you want
I
to be.
mean, I think it's the same thing with parent and child relationship also.
Yes,
Kids are dependent on you, but that doesn't give you the right and authority to abuse them and dehumanize them. They are your own children. You don't have the right to
yes,
scar them for life and damage their personal life and their, mental health and future life. So yes, Ojaswita, it was a wonderful conversation today, and I'm looking forward to see you again on, the show, and we are going to discuss some other topic. So thank you so much,
yes.
Ojaswita, for joining today.
Thank you, ma'am. Pleasure is mine. Thank you so much.